Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents, I want to talk about Mom Mobley. Now, y'all need to understand. Okay, Mabley. I said Mobley. Mabley. I never ever heard of this woman. Never heard her tell a joke. And I was just listening to this because I do this from time to time. I go back and I listen to some of the old comedians because their jokes, they weren't like these idiots now who don't know how to put a joke together. Okay, this woman, some people were saying in the comment section that she was a genius. I'm gonna let you guys choose for yourself. And this is one of those. We're gonna take a moment away from the book and we're gonna talk about this. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let's talk about Mrs. Mabley as she performs in 1969 live.
Got broke and the wintertime coming on, didn't have no money, and I married another old man. Older than the other one. Old. Older than his birthday.
I thought that was hilarious when she said he was older than his birthday. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go on because I can't I'm just gonna highlight the points. Look, the woman said the man was older than his birthday. Okay, I heard that before. No, y'all don't get it. This is her telling the joke. And it's the way she tells it that works out. Y'all hold on.
And ugly. He was so ugly, honest to goodness, he hurt my feelings.
And I love that. He was so ugly, he hurt my feelings. Okay? The woman, I give her a lot of credit. Now, some of you are saying, well, that wasn't that funny. No, you don't understand. This woman is obviously, and I don't know how old she is, and you know you don't tell a woman's age. But at her age, she's getting on stage and she's telling jokes and she's talking to her people. She ain't talking to y'all. Y'all are not her age. Y'all are not her people. Y'all are not from her generation, which is why you don't see the genius in what she's doing. See, most of y'all are not familiar with this. She's from a generation where they used to sit down and talk. And they used to sit down and tell, well, not jokes, but they used to go back and forth with each other. And look, you're going to hear, and I'm going to shut up for the rest of it because you guys need to hear her routine. We got a little less than 5 minutes of it, and so I'm going to let it play, and then I'm going to tell you why I thought this woman was a genius. Sorry, a comedic genius.
I told him the other night, I said, let's sit down and have a talk. Somebody's got to die because I can't put up with this. He said, all right. I'll sit down and talk to you. He said, where would you find another man like me? I said, in the graveyard. He said, what would you do if I died? I said, laugh. He said, his sister died, and we went to the funeral. After the funeral was over, the preacher walked over to him and tapped him on the shoulder. He said, how old are you, Pops? He said, 91. He said, ain't no need you going home. I never ever forget when we got married. We started out the church, somebody threw a handful of rice at him and knocked him out. Honest to goodness. I took him, you know that show downtown, yeah? I took him to see Calcutta, that play. He went to sleep. He said, where you go, what man you go to find that will do for you what I did? I said, Hitler. Oh, talk about getting on your nerve. He said, remember, I did you a favor. I gave you my name. I said, yes, and I got some names for you. I said, take either one of them you want. Oh, my goodness of life, honey, you don't know how bad that. He said, he had nerve enough to say to me, you'd be surprised if I got up and kissed you. I said, I'd be surprised if you got up. The children's always asking me, say, Mom, what is it like to be married to an old man? I said, honey, the best way I can explain it, it's like pushing a Cadillac up a steep hill with a rope.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you guys didn't get what she said. She said her children asked her, what is it like being married to an old man? She said, it's like pushing a Cadillac up a steep hill with a rope. Ladies and gentlemen, the rope has no tension in it. When you are using it to push something, okay? The rope is of no benefit. That's what okay, y'all got it.
It ended here. And Mom's got to face the final curtain. My children, I want to state it clear, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, but much more than that, I wanted to do it his way. For what is a woman? What is a woman? What has she got? If not herself, then she has not to do the things she really feels, and not be the one who's too proud to kneel. Yes, the record shows Mom took her blows and tried to do it his way. I wanted to do it his
way. Okay, this is another episode. I'm going to watch this later. Okay? I just want to let y'all know how impressed I was with this young lady. Okay? If you were paying attention, this is the very same style of jokes that you would hear individuals like Red Fox doing in his time. Okay, jokes that were setting people up at that time, perfect, because that was the generation. We've gotten so far away from, you notice all of her jokes were clean? Now, I don't know if the rest of her jokes were clean because she had a couple albums, y'all, and this is from her album. And she has another one that's from the album, and I don't know the album, but 1948, these shows you weren't allowed to curse on. Okay, this was television. Somebody was just reminding me about television, about how in sitcoms you would see the husband and the wife, and they would both be in the bedroom, but the husband would be in his bed and the wife would be in her bed. You never saw the husband and wife in the same bed together. Go back and look at I Love Lucy. Okay? That's how, and it wasn't perfect, ladies and gentlemen, but that's how much cleaner television was. We've gotten so far away from that now. Now we got men and women and men and men and women and men and boys and women and girls and men and little girls and women and little boys and blah 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 all in a bed together and all of these stupid shows that are on TV right now. Every show's got to have. I watch sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi, ladies and gentlemen. But why in sci-fi do we always have to have the so-called relationships? Sci-fi was away from the relationships. Well, that was until Star Trek, ladies and gentlemen. It was even during Star Trek. Okay, sci-fi was away from the stupid relationship thing. And why did I say stupid? Because when they added into sci-fi, it is stupid. The combinations, the way they mix it in, every single show, they gotta kiss. Why do they have to kiss? Well, because that's what people do. Ladies and gentlemen, people don't kiss all day, every day. But some people, but that's the problem. They're trying to make it look like it's a normal and natural thing to do. See, what you guys don't understand, there was a time period in our history where if you were caught kissing in public, you could be arrested for that. You guys remember that? I do. That's what I'm saying. There was a time when television was television was supposed to be fantasy. It was supposed to be fantasy. A lot of people didn't get it. A lot of people didn't get it. But it wasn't supposed to be erotic fantasy. Never was set up for that. That stuff was introduced over time. And slowly things have crept in. You see, we got the first TV show that had a man and woman in bed together. Don't worry about it. Made history. The very first TV show, they called it the first TV show. Then we have the first TV show where a man and woman locks lips and kiss on television. It's all right. Made history. First TV show. They highlighted it. Then we had the first TV show where a woman and a woman kissed each other, or a man and a man kissed each other. It's all right, ladies and gentlemen. It made history. We have the first TV show where they actually uttered a curse word on television. They started off slow with the DAMNs and the HELLs. They started off slowly with that. But before they even started off with that, they would have people play on words. They would have them stopping before saying the whole word. And people would, okay. What has happened is the groups who control the media, that's what they do. They slowly throw things at you. Slowly, 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 until you become accustomed to it. And then once you become accustomed to it, then they throw something else in. Then they throw something else in. Remember, when if you wanted to watch pornography in the past, it was so soft porn that there was nothing about it that could be classified today as pornography. Because the stuff that used to be pornography in the 80s is shown on TV all the time. Okay? However, the stuff that is pornography today would have had individuals being lynched, burned at the stake. There would have been so much problems during the 70s and 80s. They made a stupid movie called Caligula. And that was what a bunch of stars, a pornographic movie with a bunch of stars that they called Caligula after Caligula Caesar because the Romans practiced all of that stupid stuff. Okay, and it floated around in the 80s. Individuals were passing around the VHS tape to each other. Caligula. As much as that was so-called soft porn back then, that movie would not even raise an eyebrow in the schools today because that stuff is seen on TV. There are a couple of Italian films that I've gotten a hold of, and I looked at them and I'm like, what the? Uh-uh. And had to literally delete that junk from my computer. In Italy, this stuff is commonplace. This has been happening all over our planet. Why am I going into all of this? Because people can't see how far we've come down a very slippery, steep slope. See, slippery and steep, slope. Okay, they can't see it. They can't see how they have been conditioning us. I didn't know. People kept talking about transgender. I didn't know what a transgender person was. I knew what a transvestite was. only to find out that was the new catchphrase, transgender, as opposed to transvestite. The people who are quote unquote transgender today would have been called transvestites in the 80s. I didn't know. Do I hate transgender? I don't care. I could care less. We knew who Boy Girl George was. We talked chameleon. We talked about him to death. Okay? I liked Culture Club. I loved Culture Club. All of their songs, hey, Culture Club, I liked them as a group. Boy George, I could care less about that queen. I mean, that idiot, okay, you understand what I'm saying? This is what the industry has done. If you've noticed, during the 90s, they started putting out individuals who were gay. Not openly. No, 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 just gay individuals, and they would have them singing. Lesbians, and they would have them singing. You would not know that they were gay. They were so deep in the closet that Michael Jackson couldn't even do a song about them. Keep it in the closet. Okay? Then all of a sudden in the 80s, individuals started, I'm sorry, in the 2000s, not the 80s. I'm coming out. Okay? Like roaches. When you turn the lights off, they came out from everywhere. Then I go on YouTube, oh God, there's a bunch of gay rappers rapping about being gay. Lord have mercy. Where are we? Where are we? Thus again, why I appreciate moms. Mabley, Miss Jackie Mabley. I appreciate the fact because this takes me back when, as Gladys Knight would say, when there was an innocence, when we respected, what's the word, decency? We respected culture. There's no culture anymore, ladies and gentlemen. America does not have a culture. Well, it's multicultural. No, it is not. No, it is not. They have robbed everybody of their culture. Every single race in America has been robbed of its culture. The Hispanics robbed of their culture. See, when Hispanics first came over, they were the most family-oriented, organized group of people on this planet that America had ever seen. What about the Asians? No, Hispanics. They lived together, worked together. You had maybe 3 generations of Hispanics living in the same home. They received a bad rep for that. They should not have received a bad rep. Why? Because the money went into a collective pool to help the whole family. They had more stuff, more cars than the rest of the people in the neighborhood, although they got talked about. They're not doing that so much anymore. They still talk about the culture. Their families are getting an age now, and most of them are dying off. That culture is gone. But that's what I respected about them because they were family. They stayed together as a family. See, this is the type of video, if I left comments open, everybody and their grandmama would comment. I'm not doing this to get other people's take on it. I'm doing this to let you guys know about nostalgia and about this world that we're living in. You guys don't understand. There is some very bad things coming our way. Very bad things coming our way. And all of this stuff has been done to desensitize you. That's why you're not shocked anymore. Las Vegas. You do remember what happened in Las Vegas. That was only a couple of months ago. No, you don't remember because everybody's forgotten about it. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody's talking about Columbine anymore, only to highlight it a couple of times. Nobody's talking about Waco, Texas, what the individuals did burning up those people and those children. It wasn't David Koresh who burned up all of the people in that home. That wasn't them. We know who it was, but ladies and gentlemen, we've forgotten about all of it. Desensitization. Desensitization. That's what they do. That's what television is designed to do. Desensitize you. Wait, hold on. Let's see if Mobley going to speak. One sec.
Hello, my little darling.
Okay. Do you understand when she did this? The same one we just walked and looked at. The very same one we just watched. When she did this, no, there was no cursing allowed on television. So their jokes had to be clean. Then slowly but surely, they started introducing that bull into our media. And now all comedians do is curse. Left and right, right and left. This was my philosophy as a child. I loved rap. When Rap is the Light came out, I was Wonder Mike. My friend Drake, yes, I had a friend named Drake before that character named Drake was even in existence. But my friend Drake, he was Master G. And my other friend Marlon was Big Bank Hank. And we would literally practice learning that rap. Now, see, it's different from today because, see, we had to practice recording it after recording it on cassette, or we had to practice by waiting for it to come on the radio and listening to it on the radio and picking up as it came up on the radio. We didn't have the ability of having a video or going to YouTube or anything. And this was early, early 80s. Okay. I'm still in elementary school at this point. No, it wasn't early, 79. Anyway, said early 80s. Anyway, but they didn't curse. The only word they used was DAMN. And I didn't have to say that word. That was Big Bang Hank saying that. And that was Master G saying that. Wonder Mike didn't have to say those words. All he had to do was say a hip hop, hip to the hip hop, don't stop rocking to the bang bang, boogie to the boogie to the boogie beat. Okay, that's all he had to say. Now he had to say a whole lot more. As a matter of fact, I like Wonder Mike because he had the best lines in that whole rap. Everybody likes Big Bang Hank because Hank had to say the stuff about um, a reporter stopped me for an interview. She said she served favor, said I'm vicious on the mic and the turntable. This young reporter said I did the door, said anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was an era that we can't go back to. This era that this young lady is living in, we can't go back to. We can't go back and grab that anymore. Our innocence has been taken away. And it wasn't taken away by choice. It was taken away by slowly integrating, sorry, integrating junk into our lives. Slowly. You guys know it. You guys know it. When they first started introducing certain things on television, everybody stayed away from it. No, 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 don't watch that show. No, they're doing this, they're talking about that, and that person is gay. You guys remember that? And no, I'm not bashing people who want to be gay. That's their choice. Knock yourself out. But don't throw it in my face every 5 minutes, is what I'm saying. I'm not bashing anything or anyone. Is they slowly put it into our society. Slowly putting it in to our society. Slowly. And then next thing you know, we get bombarded with it. It's everywhere. And I'm only saying this because I was watching a TV series, Dark Matter. And when Dark Matter first came up, sorry, I'd already told this person, um, I'd already told this person I couldn't talk right now. And this is their fourth time calling me this morning. Fourth time. I did tell them to call me today, but I've already told this person I can't talk right now. So they have been calling me and calling me and calling me. No. See, what you guys don't understand, and I'll get back to talking about this nostalgia thing. This person I was working with, part of the small group that we were working with on adverse possession. This person in November, beginning of November, stopped calling. Hadn't heard from the person, hadn't heard nothing. November, December, All of a sudden in January, I contacted the person because I hadn't heard from him, and we have an appeal. We have several appeals going on, a bankruptcy appeal. We have appeals going on that I'm doing for the person. They're paying me for one, but the rest of them I'm doing for them, just like I'm working on two appeals now. Ladies and gentlemen, this person left, did not send a message, an email, nothing. Said they went to go visit their mother. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you going and visiting your mother. But here's the thing, I'm working on your appeals. I told you I needed to know and needed to have knowledge of the documents and information coming back from the courts because I needed to respond to them. Didn't send me anything. Then when they got back there telling me about everything and about how the court dismissed the appeal. Really, they dismissed the appeal. When? At the beginning of November. How come you didn't send me a copy? Well, I didn't get it until I got back, and I just haven't had time. Really, you haven't had time? Okay. So in my mind, I don't have time. Look, I don't give up about people and their personal lives. If you got things to take care of, if there are personal things in your life to take care of them. Those things are important. But when you don't give me a heads up to let me know, because that person had been back in town for several weeks and had not gotten in touch with me until they started receiving other letters from attorneys. Now they want to get in touch with me when it's too late. When I could have stopped everything, it's too late. I'm not going to stress myself over that. Back to the nostalgia thing. We can't go back, ladies and gentlemen. We can't go back. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, okay? If I could, I would. So much damage has been done in our society, to our culture, to our mindset, and many of you don't see it. No, you're worried about your bills. You're worried about letters that you're receiving from this person and that person, or people trying to take your property. Ladies and gentlemen, since September, no, actually since July, I told you I was going to start putting out information without holding it back. You guys don't seem to understand. Before, they were saying if you brought up any of this information, you were crazy. You were out of your mind. Because look at the way these people are talking. So they made them seem like they were crazy. So what I have done is I've taken this information, I've condensed it only with the words to explain to you that first, you don't own anything because Congress said you don't own anything. Why? Because they made an agreement with the American people as a result of the contract or the charter. The charter gave them, according to them, the ability to do this. However, the charter did not give them the ability to give the president any powers. We won't talk about that right now. And that there was a mortgage on your home. It will represent a mortgage on all the homes and all the property of the people of the nation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the bank failed to document that there was a previous mortgage, which means they are second in line. They have the second mortgage on the property, not the first. You see, that other mortgage is a second mortgage. So how do you get rid of the first mortgage? Well, the first mortgage is an obligation of the United States. See, it's a government obligation. Well, since the government has the original obligation, the bank must go to the government, i.e. the treasury window, to receive a payment. If they don't get the payment from the government, then they can possibly start foreclosure proceedings. But they must prove in the first instance that they attempted to secure this government obligation through the government. That's why an FHA letter has to be secured. But that's the reason for it, ladies and gentlemen. Now you understand. In the past, people were doing all of this, but they weren't really explaining it. They were explaining it, but they were explaining it, without giving you everything. See, they're talking about taxes and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't talk to you about taxes because many of you wouldn't know what to say. Many of you wouldn't know what to say. Change your status, people. Let them know that you're a non-taxpayer. On your W-2s, your W-4s, your W-9s, tell them I am tax exempt. Check the exemption box. Okay? I told you I would do it for 6 months and then I'd go and fill out another one and do it with the exemption. Plus, for myself, I claim 3 dependents, me, myself, and I. 100% legal. That's what I did. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. We have gotten so far away from people sitting around at their homes. Hold on, let me show you.
Mom's got a new one for you. Or I give my children a slogan to carry them over for the week. Mom's slogan this week is, quit it if you can't do nothing with it.
Okay, there was a time in the African American, black, ebony families where they used to sit around and talk as families. My family used to do it. My mother used to sit around and talk to us about times past and how things were. And my mother would sit there and she would tell us about what they went through. Then I go over with my father and his friends, and they would talk about the laws and they would talk about government. They're the ones who educated me and schooled me on what was going on. They're the ones who told me about government, was my father and his friends. Now remember, I didn't get to talk, I only got to listen. When my brothers and sisters would be off playing, and to this day, they don't really even know this because we've never talked about it. I never told them this. But my father would allow me to sit there because I was considered to be the loner, the kid who didn't play in all the other reindeer games. I was the Poindexter. It's okay. Those names bothered me when I was young, but they don't bother me now because there is a portion in the Bible where, let me see if I can show it to you real quick. I haven't opened it up, but we're going to go there because I need to show you something to let you understand the reason for me being me. Uh-oh. 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 I can't open that program. That program says, uh-oh, I might have to reinstall it. Oh, okay. I don't have to reinstall it. Whew. It wants to do an update. Okay. We're going to go not here. We're going to go to John. And we're going to go to John the 11th chapter. Okay. John the 11th chapter. No, it's not John the 11th chapter. It's going to be John. Oh, this is Matthew anyway. It's going to be John the 12th chapter, roughly. No, it's going to be the 11th chapter. Going to go to the 11th chapter. No, it is going to be the 12th chapter. No, let's try verse 49 and see if that gets us. The high priest, don't care about the high priest. It's going to be the 12th chapter because that's where they're talking. This is right after Lazarus died. Now, this is Martha was serving. You guys remember that, don't you? They're meeting together, and Mary and Martha, and Mary is sitting at Jesus' feet and taking care of his feet with perfumed oil. And all of the others are talking about Mary. What most people don't get is that even Martha, her sister, was talking about Mary. Okay? The only problem is I'm at the wrong verse. I need to be at the other verse, and so I don't know where else it is. So y'all just going to have to give me a second because I'm trying to point out something. So give me 1 second. Here is the point, ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to make. This is Luke, the 10th chapter, verse 38. It says, now, as they were traveling along, he, Jesus, entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. Martha was rich. Lazarus was rich. Mary, rich. They weren't poor. You're going to see it in, well, you'll see it in if you go back to John, the 12th chapter. But anyway, she had a sister called Mary. This is Mary Magdalene, okay, who was seated at the Lord's feet, listening to his word. But Martha was distracted with all of her preparations because she had guests. She wanted to make sure everything was perfect for her guests. And she came up to him, Jesus, and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all of this serving alone? Then tell her to help me. She didn't actually say it like that, but you know how women can be. But Jesus answered and said to her, Martha, Martha, you are worried and bothered about so many things, but only one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen a good part, which shall not be taken away from her. You see, he was telling Martha, look, hey, I know you're doing a 7-course meal. I know I'm important to you and the rest of your guests are important because you're being hospitable. He says, but we don't need all of that. Just a simple meal will do. So all of that preparation, you're just wasting a lot of your time. Mary has chosen to sit here and get the good portion. She's chosen to come and listen to knowledge. That's what he's saying. Why are you talking about that? Because while my brothers and sisters would be off playing, I would be sitting there listening to my father and his friends, listening to what they were talking about. Do you understand now? I chose the good portion. See, many of the videos I do a lot of talking, ladies and gentlemen, but many people have listened until the end and they realize that in many of those videos, I'm giving the points that they needed. It's okay. I don't want people getting half the information because these videos are not designed for those people who just want to come and skim and run off. If only you guys knew, if only you knew. Look, the YouTube family is a very interesting family, okay? The people on YouTube are in dire straits. That's why they're coming and looking at these videos because they're just trying to get out of the predicaments they found themselves in. Most of them are not in those predicaments because they put themselves in those predicaments. Most of them are in those predicaments because they're in those predicaments. Okay? Just that simple. It's not their fault. Some people want to blame them. I'm not going to blame them. But what I will tell you is many of you have been so bothered by so much. Some of you have been taking in so much information that you come across as if you have some psychological issues. Now, I said you come across, not that you have some psychological issues. Now, look, some of the people on YouTube, whew, they do have psychological issues. It's not for us to judge or say. What I'm talking about is the people who watch my videos. They come across because they've been getting so much information and they're mixing the information. For instance, I told everybody that EON and SATCOM are not the same thing, that I am part of an organization called SATCOM. Wasn't part of it, but because so many people came in there trying to change things up, we couldn't allow that. So now I'm part of SATCOM. However, the EON channel is not SATCOM. I only do self-advertisement for SATCOM. SATCOM is not EON. You cannot contact me through SATCOM. Many people have tried. Oh, Lord have mercy, many people have tried. Ladies and gentlemen, it just can't happen. I'm doing too much right now. I don't have that time. In the past, 2016, I was just getting off vacation. I had plenty of time. I could sit up there and talk to people all day long, 3, 4 hours. Can't do that anymore. Oh, God, I can't. Okay? But people are getting mad because SATCOM's not helping people with mortgages. People are getting mad because SATCOM's not helping people with debt. We have a debt correction program that's actually been proven pretty effective. Okay? I can't promise you anything. Don't ask me. It's not my job to tell you that. Ladies and gentlemen, SATCOM is a multifaceted organization. Every department has its own group controlling it. I don't control SATCOM, and I'm not going to control SATCOM. It's not a dictatorship. I had one person tell me when he came in that he had helped this person and that person had done this motion and that motion had done this and that. And I simply had to ask him, what does that have to do with SATCOM? So SATCOM doesn't offer any of those programs, at least yet. But we don't offer any of those programs at SATCOM, so why are you telling me that? That ain't got nothing to do with this organization. The individual thinks that we have been minus 15 different people because those people just up and quit. That's that person's mindset. Now, I can't talk about that person or anything else about SATCOM here on this channel because the policies prohibit that. But ladies and gentlemen, as I've already explained to you, the 15 people who are no longer part of SATCOM are no longer part of SATCOM because they were let go, not because they volunteered to walk away. There was only one person. He was the number 22nd person that we were bringing in. He volunteered to withdraw his application because he realized that he had too many other things going on in his life and that he would be a hindrance to SATCOM. That is the only person who has voluntarily walked away. Everybody else we've had to let go. Not because we wanted to, bending ourselves over backwards to give everybody a fair shot. And we just had to let people go because they were not going to be there in your best interests. Ladies and gentlemen, the needs of the many of you are one, and you want one-on-one help. Not gonna happen. If you want one-on-one help, you got to go to those other people. You know, the other people who are talking about this. Oh, that's right. Nobody's talking about this information or giving you guys anything with substance other than me. So then you've got no place to go. Apologize for that, but you can't come to me. No, you can't pay me. I cannot be bought. Ladies and gentlemen, to this day, do you see me asking for donations? To this day, do you see me asking you to subscribe? Do you see me selling any products? My name is not no stupid Alex Jones. I don't advertise. Mrs. Mabley, she's not paying me. Mrs. Mabley has passed on. Okay, she's not paying me to talk about her. Nobody pays me to do anything that I do, except for the consultations and some of the appeals. Consultations, that's because individuals want unfeathered, untethered access and they want information. And they want information that's unfeathered and untethered. People keep saying, but you're not giving all the information to us on video. Ladies and gentlemen, of course I'm not giving you all the information. You know how long it will take for me to give you all the information? Do you know how long it will take to sit here and explain everything from the foundation until now? Hold on 1 second. Now, some of you don't get it. In vogue, you're never going to get it. I want you to pay attention to something. Okay? I hate this because I promise you I hate this. I promise you I hate this. But watch this. You see, I hate this because I decided to let this organization go. This is, well, you see, I done talked about them at length, this commission thing. Okay? But please understand, I'm not advocating the Legal Redress Commission. Do you know why? Because the last video they put up was 2 years ago. Do you know why? Because nobody watches those videos. Okay? 2 years, and these 3 videos have only gotten roughly almost 12,000 views in 2 years. Okay? Now, why am I taking you here? Because, ladies and gentlemen, all of these videos is explaining to you how we got here. Okay? All of these videos. As a matter of fact, where is my Hyven? That's not Hyven. Come on, where's Hyven? Uh-oh. I don't see Hyven. Uh-oh. They must have taken some more down. Because this ain't all of them. There's supposed to be well over 300 videos up here. Well, more than that. Because I've done over 1,000. Let's see. Hyven the Credit Monster. H-I-V-A-N. Let's see. C-R-E-D-I-T. Oh God, eating demons. I'm good. No, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see Hyven the Credit Monster. So I guess that video isn't up anymore. I'll have to find that video. I'll have to find that video and put that back up. Hyven the Credit Monster was telling you guys about credit. Interesting, huh? That video ain't up. Sorry. Um, the ignorance of an individual got all those videos lost. But Hyven the Credit Monster, I thought the video would still be up on YouTube, and it's not. Okay, I'm gonna watch this one right here now. And look at that. In 9 years, she's got 314. So a lot of other people are into nostalgia. 314,000 views. You got a mouth. Speak out and speak is what MABLEY says. Okay. Moms just told y'all you got a mouth. Speak out and speak up. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we live in a different era, live in a different time period. But again, I am not here to educate you on everything. You're not paying me to educate you on everything. You're not paying me at all. So quit expecting that. Take the information and do your research from the basics that I'm giving you. Take the information and do a little bit of research. With that being said, I have to finish this appeal brief. And if you guys have been paying attention, it has taken me over a week to put together an appeal brief. It has taken this long, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so in putting together this appeal brief, I kind of hate it because it's taking too long. But I told you all about how I was putting together the appeal brief and I went to save it, and then when I turned it on again, the document was deleted. The portion that I had saved was no longer there. Whoo, doggy! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that happened. Even though it was a lot of work, I'm glad it happened because the angle I'm going at now is a much better angle than before. So I'm going to stop talking, let you guys get back to your day. Thank you for taking the time and allowing me to introduce you to Moms Mobley and nostalgia. Have a good day.